Is Meghan Markle about to go to war with Martha Stewart? Based on the intel we heard from a dinner party that they both attended, it seems Meghan Markle may have already been caught.
As you said, she's she went to prison and she came out and built this whole second career, seemed to do very well in it. Obviously built a gigantic business too. Yeah, she is not somebody to play around with, and that passive aggressive criticism of Meghan Markle there was so enjoyable and so deserved.
If you're an actress, it's hard to then transition to a princess, and then from a princess into a homemaking guru on a television show. It doesn't sort of follow. So go from there.
Is Meghan Markle about to find herself tangled in a heated clash with none other than Martha Stewart? According to some surprising whispers from a recent upscale dinner party where both women were present, it looks like Meghan may have already been caught in a tricky situation. Can you imagine? It's absolutely wild. The idea that Meghan believes she can step into the spotlight and stir up tension with a well-established icon like Martha Stewart is nothing short of bold. But here's the catch, it's only fueling the fire and making the whole situation far messier than anyone anticipated. What's even more intriguing is why Meghan seems so quick to dismiss and push back against these allegations. Could there be a deeper reason behind her defensiveness? Maybe even a hint of fear. This unfolding drama is filled with more layers than meets the eye, and the questions keep piling up. In hindsight, Meghan might have been better served by letting Martha's remarks slide quietly into the background, instead of trying to fix the story and inadvertently fueling the fire anew. What started as a simple, offhand comment from Martha quickly spiraled into a full-blown public argument over what Meghan supposedly said.
American cultural icon Martha Stewart. Now, Martha Stewart spoke to People magazine, which is a very Sussex-friendly publication, saying that she overheard Meghan Markle boasting about her royal return and her time with King Charles at Highgrove House.
We were both guests at a dinner party in California, and she had just gotten back from the palace. And I think I didn't talk to her really more than to say a couple words, but I know she was talking about it.
But Meghan wasn't ready to let it go. Determined to set the record straight, she pushed things even further. She didn't just stop at her own word. Meghan sought out another person who could back up her side of the story. She approached the party host, earnestly asking her to step forward as a witness to support her version of events. The host agreed to help and reached out to People magazine, challenging Martha's account and igniting the controversy even more. This escalation transformed a small dispute into a headline-making debate, drawing even more attention and keeping the drama alive far longer than anyone anticipated. They insisted that Martha's account was completely off, claiming Meghan never went into any specific details about the European trip, only mentioning that the family had a wonderful time together. However, the real source of Meghan's frustration wasn't Martha's casual remark at the party. It was what was said later, during the interview about Meghan's journey into becoming a lifestyle expert. Meghan was acutely aware that Martha's critical words had sent shockwaves around her carefully built brand, putting it under an intense spotlight just when she wanted to avoid any unnecessary drama.
So yeah, this is wild. This is wild that Meghan thinks she can go out there and basically undermine and start this beef with Martha Stewart. It's only going to make it worse. And to get the host of the party to step up and, oh, sorry, people, that's incorrect. I was sitting next to Meghan. She never did that. Makes me believe she did even more. I'm sorry, but what are you doing? Just move on. Stop making it a story.
This unwanted attention threatened to overshadow the positive momentum Meghan had been working hard to create. Yet, in her defense, Meghan might have made a misstep by dragging the host into the situation, especially since the host dismissed Martha as a quirky, slightly eccentric figure, calling her Dottie. This only added fuel to the fire, sparking more complications than Meghan likely anticipated. Elderly woman renowned for her expertise and vast experience in the field. But the real question is, why would Meghan, relatively new and still finding her footing, take on someone as established as Martha Stewart? Martha isn't just any expert. She's built a reputation over decades, and millions respect and admire her. Meanwhile, Meghan struggles with a less favorable public image, often seen as one of the most unpopular celebrities right now.
She seemed to have got the host of the party to call up People magazine and say that Martha's account was simply untrue, and that Meghan didn't talk about her European vacation other than to say the family had a great time. Worse, they called Martha confused, implying that Martha, 85 woman who redefined Americans' relationship with food, kitchen, etc., self-made female billionaire, is a dotty old lady is an incredibly stupid thing to do, especially for Meghan, who enjoys very little public goodwill.
Without that widespread admiration or goodwill behind her, publicly taking on Martha is a risky move. Instead of showing strength and confidence, Meghan's approach ended up coming across as overly defensive, almost like she was trying too hard to justify herself. This defensiveness didn't help her at all. In fact, it amplified Martha's original criticism instead of quieting it down. What could have been a minor disagreement quickly snowballed into a much larger story, capturing more attention than anyone expected. And it's at this precise moment that Meghan stumbled most significantly, making a choice that would impact how people perceive her moving forward. Mistake. The best move Martha could have made was to keep quiet and let this whole thing quietly disappear into the background. At 85 years old, she's seen how quickly the internet's attention span can move on what seemed like a big deal today could be forgotten by tomorrow.
Martha's not going to take well to that. And though she may be 85, she's sharp as a tack. And this is not the way. But Meghan can't have anything written about her without filing a lawsuit, threatening a lawsuit, having her people call, issuing some nasty barb back, even if it's an 85-year-old who said something very innocuous about her. She can't stand it.
In fact, if she had stayed silent, this tiny dinner party comment might have been nothing more than a brief, forgotten blip on the radar. But Meghan just couldn't resist. Instead of letting it slide, she pushed back hard, going public with sharp responses and sending her team out to release official statements. What started as a simple remark snowballed into a headline that refused to die down. All the spotlight she had been trying so carefully to shift onto her lifestyle brand and a hopeful royal reunion was instantly hijacked, now fixed in a glaring, unwavering glare on a controversy she hadn't bargained for, had shared her experience honestly, without any hidden agenda. Yet, Meghan's reaction was intense and immediate, like she was ready to escalate the situation rather than diffuse it. It's not just about a disagreement, it feels like a deliberate move to provoke or intimidate, especially considering Martha's stature and age. Why would Meghan choose to engage so aggressively with someone who clearly has no reason to fabricate anything? This isn't a rivalry born out of mutual competition or personal history.
Her PR team shouldn't have even countenanced responding to Martha Stewart and told her to shut up, in this case, whatever the whys and wherefores, because it just creates more sort of drama around her. But trouble is, I'm not sure she's great at listening to advice.
It's a clash where one side's truth seems straightforward and the other chooses confrontation over clarity. That mystery lingers in the background, raising questions that remain unanswered and uncomfortable for those defending Meghan. She shared exactly what she had heard, but it was Meghan's forceful and intense reaction that catapulted the situation into the national spotlight. This wasn't just a simple disagreement anymore, it became a full-blown media frenzy. And here's the thing, any seasoned PR expert will tell you, if someone truly has nothing to hide or isn't feeling threatened, they usually don't launch a massive damage control campaign over a casual remark. The scale of Meghan's response quickly outpaced the original comment, making the response far more newsworthy than the initial story itself. That contrast speaks volumes and reveals a lot beneath the surface. To add some crucial context, Martha has always been gracious and sincere, never spiteful or envious.
The Royalist suspects that Meghan was more angry about Martha's very perceptive comment about why Meghan's TV show failed. If you're an actress, it's hard to transition to princess, and then from princess into homemaking guru, blah, 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 blah. That was the shade. The only sensible thing for Meghan to have done was to have followed Martha's example when she was sent to prison. Suck it up. Or as late Queen Elizabeth would have said, never complain, never explain. But that's all Meghan knows how to do. Complain and explain, complain and explain. And stop talking about things you shouldn't talk about. Because you clearly were. You clearly were. Martha Stewart's not. Why would she make that up? That makes no sense why she'd make that up.
Instead, she genuinely wished the best for anyone who followed her path, even going so far as to offer Meghan some thoughtful advice to help her navigate a similar journey. About a year ago, there was some advice given that Meghan seemed to completely overlook. Martha holds no ill will toward anyone. She simply has very clear standards. If Meghan had any sense, she would take a step back, remain humble, and use this as an opportunity to soak up wisdom from someone as experienced and accomplished as Martha, rather than getting tangled up in unnecessary arguments. Now, pay close attention to Martha's reaction when she was asked about her feelings toward other celebrities who try to follow in her footsteps. Did you catch that subtle but telling moment? Without even a hint of hesitation, Martha acknowledged Gwyneth Paltrow with an Oscar nod and praised her entrepreneurial efforts. When it came to Meghan, though, Martha didn't spare the words. She ended with a sharp,
I don't mind. Good luck. And Gwyneth's been very successful, by the way. I think she's created quite an interesting body of businesses. She's admired. She's a fantastic. She won an Oscar, for heaven's sake, as an actress. She's pretty powerful. Meghan, I don't really know very well, and I hope she knows what she's talking about. Authenticity to me is everything, and to be authentic and knowledgeable about your subject matter is extremely important.
I hope she knows what she's stepping into. That response spoke volumes, revealing not just respect for Gwyneth's path, but a clear warning aimed at Meghan. It's one thing to follow in the footsteps of a giant, but it's another to truly understand the journey ahead. What Martha is really saying here isn't a compliment, it's a carefully veiled caution, dressed up in the most diplomatic language possible. The real sting comes not from what she openly states, but from the weight behind her words. Martha emphasized that authenticity is everything, that true expertise in your field isn't just important, it's absolutely essential. She never explicitly said Meghan was missing those qualities, but the unspoken message echoed loudly, filling every corner of the room with its sharp, quiet intensity. If Meghan had truly taken that subtle but powerful warning to heart, it's likely her brand's journey would have followed a much smoother and more successful path. Instead, that missed opportunity serves as a silent reminder of how easily things can slip away when key advice goes unheard. Martha dedicated decades of her life, pouring in endless effort, resilience, and passion to carve out her place in this world. Every step she took was hard-earned and deeply meaningful. Now, Meghan steps in, hoping to claim that space with little more than some homemade jam and a few candles. But when the very woman who built this legacy looks you in the eye and questions whether you truly understand what you're talking about, that moment is powerful. It's not a challenge to fight back against, it's an invitation to pause, listen carefully, and learn from someone with real experience. So, what's your take? Was Martha speaking a hard truth grounded in years of wisdom, or was Meghan simply reacting too strongly to a well-meaning remark? I'm eager to hear your perspective. Share your thoughts down in the comments below, and if this story sparks something in you, don't forget to leave a like, share it with friends, and subscribe for more compelling narratives. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.